Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm still trying to get it down. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2020, and this is episode 405, in which it's the Pinkie show. Do you want to say anything, Pinkie?
That vet shaved my leg.
Meow meow, have to go vet for appointment, and the vet shaved my leg to draw blood.
And steal the blood and didn't give it back.
And didn't give back my fur either. It was just a normal checkup. It was just her annual checkup. So she's mad. She does not like going into the vet. We think it's...
She used to not mind. She would be like, oh, a car ride. Oh, we're inside a new place. Okay, now she's just...
I think she doesn't like the smell of the other animals. Because she hissed at the vet, at everybody there. She hissed at us. She was not happy. Anyway, this is not the Pink Show. Although, sometimes it is. Stay tuned after the credits for a video of her trying to go to Idaho with me. We'll see how long she'll stay here. So, we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all of our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. As we mentioned last week, we have rebranded, renamed, whatever you want to call it, the podcast / FlossTube as the initials GGKCS. And so we have changed links, I think, everywhere. Well, I mean, we've changed. The new website is. I was asking you to say it.
GGKCS.com.
Yes. Our new email is
GGKCSpodcast@gmail.com.
Patreon is now.
Patreon.com/GGKCS.
Pink could care less. And YouTube is now.
YouTube.com/GGKCS FlossTube.
Because that was the only option. It gave us 4 options, and that was the best. We are still working on changing links everywhere. For some reason, I'm having issues changing the header image on YouTube. It keeps giving me an error message. So I know that is not fixed yet. I will continue to try to figure out what's going on with that. And all the links should be correct in this week's show notes. And then we are working to fix things maybe over the last few, I don't know how many episodes. We won't go all the way back to episode 1. This is episode 405. That's not happening. But we will do our best to fix things. Ravelry group's been changed. About things on the website and the Java Pearl Designs website and in Ravelry and Instagram and all that has been changed. Apple Podcasts should be changed. So, lots of changes. But thank you to those who have reached out to make sure that if there were reach out saying, just want to make sure you know that this needs to be changed, because I really appreciate that. And if you do see anything going forward that has not been changed, would you just shoot us a message and let us know, because we literally wrote like 3 pages of places that things had to be changed. So thank you to those who are helping make sure we get all that done. Okay. We have a good amount of stuff to talk about today. So I think we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
So I have one thing on the needles.
I thought the garbage truck already came this week.
I thought so too. And one thing about to go on the needles. So first up is surprise socks for my friend Rebecca. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on US 2.5 mil needles. And the yarn is Pandia's Jewels hand-dyed yarn, super sparkle in the electric pink colorway. And it was a sock blank that I wound because I'm going to do the second sock from the inside. And you can see the color is changing just a little bit. I'm trying to get a true color.
Not you.
No, I was like saying that's what I was telling them, that I was trying to get a more true color. Yeah, you can see it starting to shift right there.
You put your face like that. You did it yourself.
This Progress Keeper is from Tilting Planet, and my project bag is from Nerdbird Bakery. Yeah, I'm getting close to being done with this first sock. Let me see how much more I need to. I probably need to knit about, I don't know, maybe 8-ish more rows, 8 to 10 more rows maybe, and then the cuff, and the first one will be done. The second thing that is about to go on my needles is in this project bag from Lizzie Bags, and when I get it on the needles, I'll be using this Tilting Planet Progress Keeper. I'm planning to do it on US 2's 2.75 mil needles, but this is a design that I'm designing, so I might adjust that. But right now, that's what I'm going to start with. And the yarn I'm going to show you, because it's not a secret, is from Pandia's Jewels. It's her floofy base in the Miss Woodhouse Please Advise colorway. And it's got those little floofs. So, I'm going to call this pattern the I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go, please, cowl. Gilmore Girls reference. And it will be, I've already designed a sock pattern using this kind of same color family, but brighter. Actually, I can show you the bottom of the sock, because I have it in here. So you can see they're not exact, but they're in the same color family. And so these will be coordinating patterns, because I'm planning to use the same stitch pattern as I did on the sock for the cowl. So that will be going on the needles, if not today, tomorrow. And I will, my plan is for that to release in October. Both of those to release in October. So, yeah. That is everything that is on my needles. So I have a couple things that I finished. So let's move on so I can show you.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
So I have 2 this week. Here is the first one. Pinkie is burying her head.
Oh my gosh.
This is my 29th preemie hat for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on Ravelry. I did this on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is, the pom-pom is held doubled, abstract fiber super sock plus in the Summit colorway. I thought I was going to have enough to do the stripe as well, but I didn't, so I've used up all of that yarn now. Karen's Simply Soft in the gray heather colorway, that's the stripe and the bind off, and Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Worsted in the Everglade colorway. It's got this as the bind off because I ran out of the green too. So it's all used up. So 2 of 3 this week. 2 out of 3 colors.
Now we can see if she moves.
And then the other thing I finished was my happy 7th birthday Waylon slippers. These are for my nephew. I'm trying not to block pink. And so I'm going to block my face instead. There we go. Here we go. This is from the Bedpeds pattern. Look at your cat.
Man. Keep working.
This is from the Bedpeds pattern by Yvonne Mendelsohn, except for I converted it to be toe up. I don't think she likes it. Let's not get cat hair all over it. I did these on US 7's 4.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Worsted in the Caution, that's the yellow, Tranquil is the blue, and Orange is the orange.
What?
I know. So now I have finished all 3 pairs for my niece and 2 nephews. And so with these, I have way surpassed my stash goal. Stash Dash is a challenge by the Knit Girls podcast where you set a challenge for your a goal for yourself, and if you finish projects during Stash Dash, you get to count the entire meterage of the project, not just what you did during Stash Dash. It's for knitting, crocheting, weaving, spinning, but I also made myself some cross-stitch goals that are not official, but just to challenge myself. So my knitting goal was 1,500 meters, and with these two FOs, I am now at 1,838.8 meters. So I'm 338.8 meters over my goal. Yay. And I know without a doubt I'll get to 2,000, possibly more if I finish this pair of socks. It runs through, we've got one more month to go. It runs through the 22nd of August. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, well, that is all of my knitting finished projects. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. What you working on, Dammy?
I am trying to work on this rose bookmark that will look kind of like this, but not really, because I changed all the colors to shades of red. This is what I've got.
That vase color is really pretty. What's the other color that goes into it?
Oh, 355.
Well, let's just see what the other color is.
Why don't you talk about your stuff? Oh wait, no.
Oh, that'll be really pretty with it. You need to talk about all of your
Oh
workers.
yeah. So this project bag, which is holding all the floss, is from Fat Cat Creates. My Ariel needle minder is from So Happy Mail Bristol, and my snippety is from Catty Cross Stitches.
And Snippety is got like a felt kind of thing on the other side where you your floss sticks to it, and it also has a magnet to do your needle and or scissors. I sent you the image of a new cross stitch pattern that was just released yesterday.
Yes.
That you said that you might do for your friend, and I thought it was just so cool that I was going to show them, just because it's really cool. It's by Good Morning Maui, and it's Haunted Mansion.
And so it's the chorus to the song.
I was going to say, is that what it is? It's really, really cute. Lollipop Stitches is hosting a stitch along for it. That's where I first saw it, was on Lollipop Stitches.
Okay.
So, okay, cool. Anything else you want to say about your stitching? If you weren't in classes, you would be able to do more?
Maybe.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, let me tell you about my stitching. First up in my project bag from the 805 Stitcher, the one that creeps Dammy out because it's
I'm not looking.
human-looking cats.
I do not see it.
I'm also using a snippety from Catty Cross Stitches. That's in here somewhere. I am looking for this is what I'm looking for. I am doing my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers, and I only have 2 sections to go, so I'm going to finish it before the end of Stash Dash. Yay! So, this week I did... Unfold. I did the bed, and Christ is Born, and a star, and a heart. I really, really love how the quilt turned out. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so here it is in its entirety. Gosh, I'm not going to be able to show it all after.
It's longer than pink.
It is. No.
Maybe. It's as long as pink.
So what I have left is a gift for all on Christmas morn.
Christmas morning.
And this star and heart and the baby.
The baby Jesus.
And I think there's some little stars in there too. I need you to help me pick a floss color so that I can make Jesus not white.
Jesus was not white.
So, so I won't work on this week. Next week I'll pick it up and I'll do a gift for all on and the star and probably the heart and the other little stars. And then the final time I work on it, I'll do Christmas morn and the baby. And I'll be done. And then I already have the thing that I'm going to FFO it on. I bought it on clearance.
Pink, are you a baby?
And it's been in the closet for a while because I needed to finish this first. Okay, and then in my little Notions pouch from Pearl Girl Buttons, I have my Pusheen number 3. So it's from this Pusheen cross stitch kit. And I have finished patterns 1 and 2, and I'm doing pattern 3. And this will be done next week because I work on this during my Stitch With Me. Oh, that was on 28 count, even weave from a big box craft store, and I can't remember which one. I think I think Joann's. But I think I've also bought fabric from another another one of them, but I think that one's from Joann's. This is 14 count Ada and the floss that came with the kit, which is crap floss. I've actually thrown away all the excess other than this color that I'm finishing with. So I did, I think, 3 or 4 rows on this week's Stitch With Me. So I just have this right here and that right there, and I will be done. So I will finish this on this week's Stitch With Me. It will happen. And then I picked back up in my Outlander to Better to Sleep project bag from Stitch Toolbox. There's also a snippety in here from Catty Cross Stitches. I am doing, for Dammy, I'm doing from Kitty and Me Designs by Pamela Kellogg. I'm doing the Cats and Mandalas February. And then I have 2 other ones to do after I finish this one for Dammy.
You know, I didn't say you had to do all 3 of them. I thought you would pick one.
But I'm doing all 3. This fabric is Artemis by B Stitch Me, and it's 28 count Lugana. And there is where I'm at. I'm almost done with the cat. And the needle minders from Gecko Rouge. We figured that out last week. Yeah, so most of what I have left right here, you can see. Just a little bit more, and then I'll be to the cat's head, and then the paw. The leg and the paw that's reaching out. So, I think I will finish the cat for sure this week, which would be really awesome. Okay, so my goal for Stash Dash for not Edinburgh Castle was originally, I don't remember even how much, it was way too high, and I bumped it down to 13,000. I still think that's too high, but we'll see where I get to. So with my progress on all 3 of those this week, I'm now at 7,488 stitches out of 13. So, yep. And then the last thing I'm working on in my project bag from Knit Run Dig, my Winnie the Pooh project bag, I am working on Edinburgh Castle. There, that's what it looks like, by Terra Luna Stitchery. And I am using Pattern Keeper software on a Kindle Fire 7. My needle minders are from Top Knot Stitcher. My Grime Guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery. And my snippities from Catty Cross Stitches. Last week when I showed you this, I don't know why I'm showing you because I'm putting the picture on the screen. Last week when I showed you this, I was at 17,600 stitches. And this is where I am at now. I am now at 19,000 stitches out of 265,824. I am 7.148% complete, so I made it over 7 this week. I'm still sitting at 3 out of 60 pages complete. I think I have a couple more columns to do on page 4, but I could be totally wrong. And for Stash Dash, my goal for this was 18,000 stitches, and so far I've done 11,600. I did the math this morning when I was updating my Stash Dash post on Ravelry, and I do need to do 200 extra stitches because I ended up being out of town an extra day. So I think what I'll probably do is just do an extra 100 one day and an extra 100 another day, and be be to my goal. And then I'm continuing to participate in the City Sane Stitchers group, doing background certificates. I did finish a book for mapping your literary journey this week. And other than that, I'm still doing the other ones that I was talking about last week. So I think that is everything for FlossTube. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So, obviously, because of COVID, regular prides are not happening. And so our county, Kitsap County, did a drive-through pride. And we won one of their Pride in a Box boxes. And so we were going to show it to you. So this is how it came. I did not stick this back in there because it had to lay in there weird. This is a streamer on a stick. We tried to get Pink to play with it, and
she wanted the stick, not the streamer.
Yes, I'm going to hand you that. Thanks. Okay, and then inside, it's so pretty. Look for rainbows. So, sorry, I'm trying to open this. There was a couple of postcards in it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. There is a humongous, I'm not unfolding it, pride flag. There was Cards Against Humanity pride pack.
Warning, Cards Against Humanity is for adults. Adults.
Yes, because it is not safe for children.
That's why I said adults.
Yeah. Oh, it even says 17 plus on it. We got a thank you for participating with their sponsors on it. Give you that. There is a Love Revolution sticker. In this envelope with the cute Love is Love sticker, this is from a local bar / pizza place called Sirens, and they gave us a gift card and beer, booze, pizza bracelet. There was this gummy. It's gummy material, but it's a pin of. What is this one called? This flag called?
I just call it the pride flag. I don't know. Probably an all-color pride flag.
There's some kind of specific name for it because it has a traditional pride rainbow, but then it has black and brown and then transgender. There's that. There is a Kitsap Pride button. There is a Resist, Persist, Exist button. There is another Kitsap Pride button. There is a I'm Loved by P Flag sticker. Is the only other thing in here. This. And I'm not opening this either, but it's a full rainbow Kitsap Pride umbrella.
It's bad luck to open the inside.
Yeah, but look at the...
It's got pink.
Look at all the pretty colors.
Neon rainbow colors.
And then I think it has the logo on it. I pulled up an image of it, but I didn't open it. So that was fun. You can stick all that back in there.
Okay.
Get the thing from Pink and stick it in there too.
No, she's holding it.
Okay, well, I don't want it to fall behind the couch, is my concern.
She says she loves you all.
She's so sweet. Okay.
Except when she's not.
That is very true. So that was Kitsap Pride in a Box. They had t-shirts available as well, and yeah, just different things. So hopefully next year life will be back to normal and traditional prides can occur. I know some places have done or are planning to do online, like with streaming and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Do we have any other yummies this week?
No.
No, I can't think of anything. It's been very warm here and very humid here, which has made me feel really bad. It really triggers my fibromyalgia. So I have been doing a lot of sitting, a lot more sitting than normal, and reading and watching TV and doing some crafting. So, okay, well then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty.
It
stands for...
Because we're not going to change it to GGKCS Crafty Pad.
Let's talk about GGK Crafty Pad. What is it? It's our Crafty Photo a Day challenge, where we have a list of photo prompts for each month. You take a look at the prompt for that day and take a picture related to it, but you post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So July has been, the theme was kind of like celebrate, and then just kind of some of our more normal things. The August list will go live next week so that you can prepare. We'll give you a clue that we will be celebrating, because in August is our 8th podiversary. Flossiverse, whatever it's called. It's our 8th anniversary of doing the show.
Your FlossTubes are still podcasts.
Yes, but they have a term for it as well.
Okay.
I think it's...
But it's still a podcast.
I understand that, but I believe there is a term for it as well.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Today's prompt is...
In front of you.
Yes. You interpret that however you would like. We're very cheater-friendly on this. You post your photo on Instagram. Make sure in the captions you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad, because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen. If you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you. Send them a message, and they will follow you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. So, and we have no upcoming events because the world. So, all right. Well, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So before you tell us what you're reading, Dammy, we wanted to tell you that we have become affiliates. That's the word, with a website called Bookshop. And Bookshop is an online bookstore with a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. So if you purchase a book from our shop, we earn a commission, but also local independent bookstores earn money from the purchase. So what we are going to be doing is each week we'll be creating a list, and there will be a link in the show notes in this section of what we're reading, watching, and listening to that episode's list, and it will have all the books that we mention in that episode linked up. And then also at the bottom of the show notes, there will be a link just to our bookshop as a whole. So, but we will continue to link on Amazon as well. But if you would like to support local indie bookstores, this is a great way to do it. and you'll be supporting the podcast too. So, okay, now, Dammy, what are you reading?
I'm still trying to read So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijeoma Oluo. These summer classes are killing me.
But you're over halfway done.
No.
I thought it was a 6-week class.
8 weeks.
Oh. Sorry. Bummer.
I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
And you're also reading all kinds of school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, Dammy, I assume that you are getting in 15 minutes at least of reading every day.
Somewhat. Even if I wasn't, it's still okay because I'm tired.
Yes. But you're reading, I mean, you're having to read for school pretty much daily.
Yes.
So, what am I talking about?
The July, August, September RAL.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. Don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading.
You can read your cat's aura.
No, that does not count.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
She has a pink aura.
That she does, but that still does not count. It has to be reading material. You need to be reading words. Audiobooks do count, though, so you can listen to audiobooks, and they do count. So there are seasonal RAL challenges where there is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then you edit your post. And by participating in those, you earn entries into our year-long challenge. And then at the beginning of 2021, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners. And you could be a winner. There's ways to earn bonus entries. All that is in the show notes at
GGKCS.com.
as well as in the Ravelry group. Okay, what I'm reading. I finished reading More Myself, A Journey by Alicia Keys. So this was a memoir by her, and it was very well written. I had heard her on a podcast. I want to say it was Brene Brown's, and that's what piqued my interest in reading it. So yeah, I felt it was very well done. I have just started reading a book by a woman that I heard on a podcast. I don't remember which one, but it is called Pure: Inside the Evangelical Movement That Shamed a Generation of Young Women and How I Broke Free by Linda K. Klein. And it is, she has interviewed so many women who were part of the purity culture in the evangelical church in like the 90s, early aughts, but most of it was in the 90s, which is when I was in junior high and high school and college, and I was definitely affected by that, and so it has definitely triggered me when I read it, but I think it's something that's important for me to read about and see what this woman's journey was, but also other women who were affected by it and hear their stories. So I am reading that. I'm continuing to reread book 5 of the Harry Potter series, The Order of the Phoenix, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This is again going to be a 2-week chapter because Swish and Flick broke it up into 2 weeks. The chapter is The Lion and the Serpent, and it was the Quidditch match, Gryffindors against Slytherin, and they made up the song about Ron, and it was, yeah, not the Slytherins were not nice. She was yawning. But also, Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast came out with a special episode discussing JKR's transphobic tweets and essay and all of that. And I listened to that, and I felt it was very well done. And they actually had someone who is transgender come on and be on that episode as well by Pink. As well as they had people, transgender folks, call in, and they could not use all. They were overwhelmed by the number of call-in messages that they got, but they used some of them in the episode. And I felt it was very, very well done, and talking about, and they're not sure what they're going to do. They're going to finish this book, but they're not sure going forward after that what they're going to do, whether the podcast will continue or whether it will stop. So that is something they're talking about. So, which is very good conversations to have. Okay, and then I finished reading We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Berry. I talked about this a little more in detail last week. It's a kind of a coming of age about a field hockey team. I finished reading Agnes at the End of the World by Kelly McWilliams, and it's about a teenage girl who is in a cult, but then this horrible contagion comes and affects animals and people, and she's trying to figure out how to get out of the cult, but then how to save one of her younger brothers who is a type 1 diabetic. But the cult does not believe in medicine, but she has secretly been getting insulin to give to him and testing him. And so it's this whole very messed up thing, but I thought it was a very well done book. I think I've blown Dammy's mind.
I've heard enough about contagions.
Yeah. Yep. I finished reading book 11 in the Detective D.D. Warren series by Lisa Gardner. It's about a female detective. And I think this is the last... I don't know if more books will come out in the future, but I've read to the most current book of this series. I read What Unbreakable Looks Like by Kate McLaughlin. Holy crap, y'all. This is not based on any one story, but on multitude of stories and such that have been told about a teenage girl who is a human trafficking survivor, and she was trafficked by someone who was her mother's boyfriend's friend, and trafficked in like the same kind of general area of where she lived here in the U.S. And so it was a very, very interesting read, even though it was fiction, of what human trafficking looks like and what it looks like for someone who has survived that and is trying to rebuild a life. And it was, I mean, there are parts that are very, very difficult to read, but I thought it was very well done, and I would highly recommend it if you're wanting to know more about human trafficking here in the U.S. Because it happens here. It's not just something that happens, not in our country. It does happen here in the U.S. So I would highly recommend it. So, but just be forewarned that there's discussion of obviously human trafficking, sex, violence, etc. There is a tale behind my head. It's gone. I also finished reading The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, and this is about a woman who
is in a window.
What is the condition called when you can't leave your house?
Agoraphobia.
Yeah, she's got agoraphobia, but
it would be very severe agoraphobia.
Yeah, it is very severe agoraphobia. I just couldn't think of the word. She has had some kind of traumatic event happen. We don't find out the details of it till like late in the book. That's why I don't want to spoil that. But because of it, she has developed agoraphobia. She was a child psychologist, and stopped practicing, obviously, because of this trauma and not leaving the house. But
taking care of my floss. I've had her fur in my mouth enough today.
But she enjoys watching the neighborhood out of her windows of her house, and she witnesses a murder, but then nobody believes her. And so that's kind of the premise. She's a huge fan of like older suspense thrillers like North by Northwest. I can't think of names.
Were you just gonna list off all of Hitchcock?
Yes, I was. But now I can't think of any other names.
Detective novels, dime novels.
Anyway, so it has that kind of feel to the book because she's a huge fan and she watches a lot of them. So, I'm reading book 7 in the Lucy Kincaid series by Allison Brennan. It's a female, FBI agent. But like, over the course of like these books, we have gotten, stories of like her entire family and such. And so this book is like they're going home for Christmas. And then like, so I'm like reading, and the first part of it is actually not about Lucy. It's about one of her brothers. But I'm like seeing that I still have a ton more left to read. But like the conclusion to this story is finishing. And I'm like, what the crap is going on? Well, then it jumps to we jump back in time to like where that story started. But now we're looking at Lucy and what's happening with her. And anyway, so that it looks like we're going to get, I don't know if there'll be more besides these two stories, but then it looks like it'll all come to fruition at Christmas, family Christmas. I'm guessing is what's going to happen. So, and then I am listening to book number 3 of the Guild Codex Spellbound series by Annette Marie, 2 Witches and a Whiskey. And I was kindly told this morning that there's apparently another series by Annette Marie that is like, I guess, kind of a parallel type story. Anyway, Julia sent me the reading order, the suggested reading order. So, that way I can get all of it. So I'm looking forward to that. But these are fun. I'm listening to it as an audiobook. Okay, watching. Do you want to talk about the first thing?
Lord! We watched Psych 2, Lassie Come Home. I will be honest, I didn't know there was a second Psych movie in development.
I told you.
I think I forgot about it. I have too many things going on up here. But it was very fun, very nice.
It was very fun, and I loved that they took, what's his name?
Tim Omundson.
Yes. What happened in his life of him having a stroke, and were able to incorporate that into the storyline so that he could be able to participate in the whole storyline of the movie. So the way they wrote it in is, and this happens at the very beginning of the movie, is that he was shot in the line of duty and had a stroke on the operating table. And so now he's in a rehab place, and hijinks ensue. So, and it was so fun to see them do, because in the regular show, they like it almost always starts with a back in time with Sean and his dad, but in the start of this movie, it was a back in time of Carlton and his dad. So that was really fun. So, do you want to talk about the next thing too?
And we're rewatching season 2 of Warehouse 13.
What's his name that was in it? That was a guest, and you were sad.
Oh, Renee Renee
Who's
Le Poisson.
Yeah. He was a guest in an episode, and that was fun.
Somehow the basic plot of a lot of these early episodes is like ingrained into my psyche, and so we watch it and I'm like, why do I remember watching this?
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah.
Because this was a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's fun. That's fun that we're watching that. And then rewatching Psych as well. We finished season 3 and are now in season 4. Yes. You want to talk about the next thing?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Cabin Fever. By John Finnemore, which is a little YouTube spinoff of his BBC Radio 4 comedy Cabin Pressure, which I'm listening to also. Always and forever. I don't know if he actually lost his voice or just wanted to do something fun, but it was charades.
I got, I think, a couple of them, but some of them I was just like, what? So it'll be fun to find out what they really are. Watching season 7, the final season of The 100. Watching season 7, the final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We need to watch the new episode tonight. And I watched all of season 3 of Absentia, which has, what's her name from Castle?
Stonactique.
Yes, in it. And it's an Amazon Prime show, and they dropped all 10 episodes at once.
Wow.
So I finished watching the last episode last night. So, okay, and then listening to my favorite murder podcast, Unlocking Us with Brene Brown podcast, Evolving Faith podcast, random Spotify playlists.
Kim Busher, already said it.
And random Spotify playlists.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well that is everything we are reading, watching, and listening to. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Ow. So this started on the 1st of June and it runs through the 31st of August. And it's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summer. Just distracting me by counting. There are a couple main rules for this owl. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of June, then finished no later than the 31st of August. The other main rule is that each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that total 20 yards. For stitching and sewing projects, it's up to your best judgment. You can feel free to poly dip in other longs as long as it fits in with the rules. That's totally fine.
Don't you love it when you get the same number when you count it both times? Okay. Sorry, just had to say that. And I need to put the number on my phone so I make sure and do the same number of rows next time.
I was on a roll.
Go ahead.
We've got lots of lovely prices on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our sponsors. If you want to get closer looks at these or see where they came from, you can go to our show notes, ggkcs.com, or you can tune into the first-ish podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail. You must be a member of the GGKCS podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to tag your projects on Ravelry or post on social media. It is GGKCS Summertime 20. The FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of September. Our winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it.
There's still an outstanding winner from the 400th episode giveaways. I think your deadline is coming up.
So go watch episode 402.
And claim your prize, because otherwise it'll go back in the prize bin.
Yeah. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can chatter and where I congratulate people who finish projects. But I also do that here. So, DDor4, DG White, Elsa and M, I Now Hour, I Knit Socks Too, Jodidiah, Knit Fantasy, Low Mermaid, Meditative Crafter, Mystery Sewer, Nicole S, Restrauss, and Travel Socks.
Great job, everybody. Keep working on those projects. You have about 5-ish weeks to go to finish your projects, and you might be a winner. So, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
The geeks try to answer. I was being funny.
I was on a roll!
Sorry. I keep knocking you off your roll.
Yes.
I apologize.
And I really like bread too. So this question was originally asked and answered in 2015, but we're going to do it again. It's from Eileen, who's leaner, from Ohio. CC.
Yes.
With all the sock patterns you create outside of the special ginger twist or yarn crawl socks, have you ever thought of doing top-down sock patterns?
Also known as cuff down. Yes. And
no, I put my foot on the top.
Okay. Since this question was asked, almost all of the sock patterns we've released have both had both cuff down and toe up instructions. There are always going to be some that cannot be done that way. For example, this is my I Love You More Than Pumpkin Spice socks that have this. I know, this is my favorite pattern that I've designed. And so it's got this gorgeous pumpkin cable up the front, but you can only do it toe up. Trust me, I tried for 50 zillion hours to try to make it work cuff down, and it won't work. The cable does not work correctly going cuff down. So, ones like that, there's just no possible way for me to do it. I'm sure there are some other ones that are that way as well. I can't think off the top of my head, but we try to, if it's possible for the pattern to be both toe up and cuff down, we do it that way and release it that way. My new one that'll be releasing in October will be toe up and cuff down both.
What if I want to knit my sock sideways?
There are patterns for that. So, yeah. So if you want to check out sock patterns that we've created, we are Java Pearl Designs on Ravelry. You can go to either one of our profiles and click on I have designs or I have patterns available on Ravelry and click and be able to see what we have. So, or you can go to our website, javapearldesigns.com, and it's all there. So, well, thank you for the question, Eileen. It's a great question.
From 5 years ago.
But it's still an applicable question 5 years later.
5 years.
Yes. The reason we are re-answering a question is because we ran out of
more questions.
Yeah, we ran out of new questions. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeks thread in our Ravelry group and post it. Or if you are currently affected by Ravelry's current layout, you can post it in the comments of our YouTube video. Or if you don't have Ravelry, you can post it in our comments.
Yep. And we will answer them in the order they come in unless there's one that's time sensitive. And we have not yet had a question that we've not been willing to answer. So, ask away. All right. Well, let's move on to the next segment. And with that, we made it to the end of the show. Don't crinkle that.
Yay!
Yay! We made it to the end of the show. I don't think we have any announcements.
No.
Other than the ones we made at the top of the show about changes in places to find us. So let's talk about, thank you so much to everyone who supports the podcast. No matter how it is that you do that, we are very, very appreciative of everyone who watches and gives a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, or comments or participates in owls and rowls and asks questions, all of that. But a big thank you to those of you who support us financially. Big heart to you, because it does cost money to do a podcast. There are now 4 ways you can support the podcast. We announced the new one in what we're reading, watching, and listening to, but we'll talk about them all again here. The first and main way is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if somebody would like more information about this or wants to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/GGKCS.
Yes. What's another way, Dammy?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
As we announced earlier in what we're reading, we are now bookshop affiliates. And if you purchase a book from them, we earn a commission, as well as local independent bookstores earn money from your purchase. There's a link in the show notes to that. And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, click on the appropriate link, do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry.
Not iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. Well, with that, we're going to tell you... I know. It's hard when things change names, like what we've done. It's hard, and you still say the old things sometimes, and eventually, hopefully, it gets ingrained in us, and it just rolls off the tongue. Okay, well, we hope you have a lovely weekend ahead. Stay cool. Thankfully, yesterday was a little bit cooler here as well as today, because it got too warm and majorly affected me. So, and happy crafting. Wear your masks. Wear your masks. Protect others. Because you can be asymptomatic and not even know and be spreading the virus. So, please be wise and wear your masks. And enjoy your crafting. And I'll be back with you on Monday for Stitch With Me, which I'm going to have to record it on Sunday because I have to go to the mill on Monday.
Okay.
So I will have to record that a day early, but that will come out on Monday, and then our regular episode again next Friday. And until then, happy crafting. Talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Pinkie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you think you're going to go to Idaho with Mama? Are you planning to go to Idaho with Mama in her bag? Are you packing yourself up? Yeah? You packing yourself up? Pinkie. Hi, honey. You wanna go see all the alpacas? You're so silly.